Hello, I want to welcome you to this presentation. My name is Kamal Ju, and this is my experience selling on Amazon after 1 year, that is from the January of 2018 to January of 2019. This is my experience, which may look like a negative thing, but really, this is giving you a heads up, and this is useful for all those who are trying to make some money through Amazon and the finding avenues that are not possible in the local market and looking out for extra money through Amazon. So, thank you very much for tuning in. And I have a list of things that I want to discuss with you, and here we go. Um, the first thing, I started selling on Amazon as an MFN, which means the Merchant Fulfilled Network. The Merchant Fulfilled Network is a thing where you actually have items stocked with you at your home, in your basement, and then you use the local Canada Post or whatever courier to ship it out to people. And some people do ship out directly from Chinese supplier like AliExpress and other places by using the Chinese shipment procedure that can bring it over across the border to Canada, and then Canada Post will take over and then give you a tracking number, and then they would supply the item. The whole process could take at least from 15 to 45 days, and this is the way I started selling on Amazon, and then I sold in the category of electronics, personal care items, home and kitchen. These are items which were ranging between the cost of 10 to 60 to $70, and all of them had a margin of about 10 to $15 in range as a profit for me. And I was selling them, and there was quite a lot of demand for that on Amazon, and people started placing order on my shop. And at one time, I remember that I even had about 300 orders that I had to process. And I'll tell you more about that later on. And actually, I wasn't able to process, and that's where my procedure failed. And the next thing is that I extended my selling process to .com, that is the US, and .uk, which means it's going to be Germany, England, France, Spain, and and Italy. And then I started selling on MXN, which is the Amazon.mxn, which is Mexico. And all of these will actually charge you for a Prime every month. And so you got to bear in mind that as an merchant fulfilled network, it's not a very good thing to sell on all the marketplaces, and it's better that you sell it. If you're in Canada, you just stick on to Amazon.ca. And then after 5 months of selling, as you might have guessed, my account got suspended from pretty much all the places. It happens that if it is suspended from .com, it will get suspended from .ca, and if it is suspended from UK, and it'll follow up with Germany and all the other marketplaces in Europe. So my account was suspended, and as you know, when the account is suspended, you're going to get a letter saying that please ship all the orders that you have, and your amount with Amazon is frozen, and you got to create an appeal that will look like this, and then as soon as the appeal is accepted, then the suspension will be removed and all that. But actually, you know what? it is going to take you at least 3 to 4 months to get the suspension out and to get your money back. And in some cases, I believe that I was reading a lot of response in forums about suspension, and in some cases, it could take forever. Okay, so sometime after 3 months, I think it's about 3.5 months, the account was reinstated, but Amazon told me that I cannot sell as a merchant fulfilled network and I have to sell only as FBA, so that is fulfilled by Amazon, which means my margin of profit is going to be less. And I would have to take care of sending all the items labeled and everything to Amazon FBA, and they would ship it out, and they would take care of all the communications and the placing of the orders, and they would use their local couriers or whoever it is and make sure that the item reaches the buyer in 1 or 2 days. So this is how they take care of it. And I can tell you that the amount of markup that they have on each item, if you were selling something for $20, Amazon would take at least $7 out of it. So um, yeah, go ahead and do the math and see what's the kind of profits that you're going to get. And the next thing I want to tell is that you're going to be facing a stiff competition from Chinese sellers. When I say stiff competition, it's really nasty competition, and they would actually come back and give you a negative feedback, and they would somehow make sure that you run off the tracks and you're not able to sell that product because they want to sell it. The Chinese sellers have people in all countries, in UK and in US and Canada and so on, where they actually buy the product that you are selling, and they would become a buyer and eligible for providing a feedback. That feedback is going to be horrible, and you cannot get rid of the feedback, and you would get a negative feedback. And after a couple of days of receiving uh, 4 or 5 negative feedbacks, Amazon is going to send you a letter saying that your feedback is negative feedback is more than expected, and therefore your account is again suspended. So you're going to have this kind of thing from Chinese sellers, and they actually have secretly agents who actually do this for a certain fee. And most of the Chinese competitors hire these people, and they get you off the road, and you won't be able to sell on Amazon anymore. So I would say that China is a country where your dreams are stolen, and if you want to buy something really good and you want to enjoy your life, they would come up with an item that is exactly like that, but it'll work only for a month or two. And it's a counterfeit item. So let's say you want to buy an iPhone, okay? So they can actually make an iPhone just the way it looks, but I can tell you that in a matter of a month or two, it's not going to work, or there's going to be some other kind of problem with it. So that's just an example. Amazon recognizes China as the capital for counterfeit item. So uh, yeah, don't get items from China. The next bullet is that I had to really fight back on negative feedbacks. As I told you in the previous bullet, the negative feedbacks were given by the Chinese individuals working very secretly and buying your product and giving you a single star and telling nasty things. And Amazon is not going to take away that negative feedback. And when you have accumulated about, say, about 4 or 5 feedbacks, then you're going to receive an email from Amazon saying that your account is now going to be suspended because of negative feedbacks. So, in most cases, I have sent emails to my buyers saying that please don't give me a negative feedback. I'll be willing to give you a replacement. I would also give you a refund. A replacement would be like, from at no expense to you and so on. In most cases, they don't reply to you because, as you know, that these are most of them are from this Chinese company who are actually trying to get you off the road. There would be some people other than the Chinese people who actually oblige to you, but that's going to be very, very rare. So, okay, let's go on to the next item that I have. Um, I shipped goods to my house and then to FBA. So when Amazon told me that I can only sell as an FBA seller, so I had to get the items from China. Well, I have no other place to go to because you can't get you can't get items at the margin of profit from US or from Canada. So I had to get some items after a lot of correspondence to my house and then inspect them here one by one, uh, and then try to do a bubble wrap, or try to do a shrink wrap and make it like a gift box, and then put them into a box and then send it to FBA. Okay, the cost of sending it to FBA from my house is not going to be much because you can use UPS, and FBA has a kind of an arrangement that if you ship it by UPS, it's going to be like a box of, let's say, about 46 centimeters by 46 centimeters by 46, about weighing about 15 to 20 kilos. It's going to be about $25 to ship it to Ontario from Alberta. So yeah, that's what I was doing after that. And I found that after I subscribed to Jungle Scout and other places, and I found that I just could not sell with a margin greater than $5. If there was to be a margin greater than $5, then people are not going to place order on you. They're going to place order on the Chinese counterpart who is going to sell it for a lower price. I don't know why Amazon allows the Chinese people to sell. They do not send them emails saying that your item is counterfeit. They don't tell them anything. They just give them permission, and most of those people are able to use the Chinese shipping companies in order to send the items. They do not tell the buyer that the item will come after 30 to 40 days. They will tell them that you will receive it in 10 days, which is not true. It's not possible, but still, people, um, in short, people are not going to place order on you. They're going to place order on the people whose price is less. So, this is like a last bullet I have. It says they do not depend on Amazon selling profits alone for survival. So if you were to think that you could stay at home and you could sell on Amazon and make a living, you're going to pay your mortgage or pay off your bills. No, it's not going to happen because let's say you're going to need about $5,000 a month. Okay, so I'm going to here switch my calculator. So 5,000 a month, and then I divide that by, let's say, $30, which is going to be like 166. Let's say about approximately, I would say 150 items. So you got to earn like $150 a day, which means with the range of $5 on each item, number of items would be like, if I divide by five, you would be selling like 30 items a day. If you were working for like if the shop is, if the people are awake for like 10 hours a day trying to buy from Amazon, you would be getting like, in that 10 hours, about 30 orders. So um, that's not going to happen. It's quite a high volume. And if someone were to sell at this high volume, Amazon will discover that this is a good product and they themselves will start selling this, or you would have a very stiff competition. So I'm talking only about $5,000 a month. Let's say if you were actually selling and making money about, like they say on the internet, $1 million, okay? The $1 million is going to be like that, and you are going to be getting a profit in a month, divide by 30, you're going to be about $33,000 a day, which means at the margin of $10, you would be selling how much? You would be selling approximately 300, 3,000 items a day. No, come on, give me a break. That's not going to happen. And you're not going to be making a lot of money doing selling on Amazon. There are people who actually been doing it, and I think they actually manufacture the product at a throwaway price and then they sell it for at least $20 markup price with on Amazon. So yeah, that is my take on after 1 year, I'm still a seller, and I think Amazon kind of credits me about $400 or $500 a month, and I got to find other ways of my livelihood. And yeah, take care. Thank you very much for tuning in, and God bless you.